Money can be used with many varied intentions and for many different purposes. It can be used in regenerative projects to grow more food and trees, support those who are less fortunate, to birth new creative ideas into the world that help others thrive, and it can be used for far less salubrious things, such as war, manipulation, corruption, and have you wonder, is this good or bad? From a higher perspective, none of it is good or bad, as everything is here in aid of expansion. In fact, even if every penny was spent on destroying Earth on a soul level, we'd all learn a great deal and we'd still expand. So good or bad is a function of thought, morals, goodwill, and discernment. While yes, evolutionarily, the world is designed to thrive on love, that doesn't mean that your soul doesn't learn a lot through not reacting with reality from love. Because of the varied types of experiences and projects that money has facilitated since it's existed, for good or bad, depending on each person's discernment, it just feels dirty. Whilst yes, money is energy, we fail to see that as a collective, energy isn't just energy, as if it was some static chord of frequency that arrives to you and leaves you as if nothing has been influencing it other than your thoughts and your positivity around it. So when money feels like a grind, we try to work on our money mindset. Money is neutral. I get to decide what it means to me. Or money is here for me, I welcome it in. In energetic terms, when you're sensitive to such frequencies deeply, this is like willingly walking into a miasma of poisonous gas, closing your eyes and believing that gaslighting yourself about what's happening will mean you'll be fine. This is very abusive on an energetic level to your body, and less than ideal for the harmony of your conscious and subconscious mind. Because frequency isn't a pure frequency that arrives from source, it's a circulating frequency. You have no control over where money has been before you, only somewhat in the people that you work with, but before them it could have been anywhere. And after money leaves, other than where you initially invest that money, almost every aspect of its circulation is out of your control. It goes where other people's consciousness decides that it goes. A circulating energy picks up the imprints of every person who has been in contact with it. So, much like how you wipe off your muddy boots on a mat when you come into your house, it's a good idea to practice similar energetic hygiene around money when it comes into your experience. There are multiple reasons why this is recommended, but the main ones are: 1. You'll find conscious and subconscious congruency around money as you choose better and higher frequency thoughts around money through your money mindset course. You'll also ensure that the frequency of money in your possession is actually rising through better cleanliness. And congruency equals power, my friends. For people who aren't sensitive to frequencies, they don't initially notice a problem. They'll welcome in as much money as humanly possible. However, they will ultimately always meet a cap because their subconscious will eventually reject the level of dirtiness in their field. They won't know what to attribute it to, so they'll focus on things like their mindset, their sales team, or cutting overheads, etc., when it's their soul through their body rejecting incoming money, which is making the hygiene problem in their field even worse. On the other hand, for people who are deeply sensitive to frequency, their sensitivities in this way will remain locked in conflict with incoming money, so often they'll just find themselves struggling with money or just flat broke. You might see how this makes it tempting to put off the ascension process. After all, it seems like higher consciousness equals less money, but that doesn't need to be the case if you start practicing energetic hygiene with money. Now, your consciousness will have to rise eventually, as that is where reality is inevitably leading us. So the question is, would you rather be in deep resistance to dirty money now or later? Later here may mean in lifetimes, so you may not feel it as a priority, but when that moment comes, even if it's 10 lifetimes from now, you will still be the one experiencing it. Choose energetic hygiene with money now and allow your consciousness to ascend as well. 2, you'll welcome in more money as well as sending it on its way as needed, simply because your body is happy to do so. 95% of your decisions are made through your subconscious mind. The body here is representative of the subconscious mind because many of those decisions are so fast they don't even touch the brain mind. The body knows what to do. There is reasoning in the argument that the mind is the control center, so start here, but it's far better to work collaboratively with the mind and the body. The body is highly programmed to sense actual germs, and so on a more subtle level, it's also programmed to sense energetic germs. Energetic hygiene with money turns off the body's firewall to money as it lessens the resistance to germs coming in and dirtying your field. 3. You'll enjoy being with money itself, and you'll enjoy the things that you're doing due to money as well. Consider again walking into a house with muddy boots, like really muddy boots. You walk all around your house, get in and out of the bed, get in the shower, put your feet up on the sofa. Imagine you then wake up from this daze and look around your house. Suddenly you can't enjoy your house anymore. You can only sit on one clean corner of the sofa. You end up sleeping on the floor because the bed is unusable. And the shower is clogged up, so you have to use the sink for a cat wash every day. The enjoyment of your space diminishes, and can you see how this leads to a sense of scarcity? Where once you could prance around your house happily and freely, now you're strenuously and methodically moving through the space, considering every move and barely making use of the full potential of your house. You can imagine it's really horrible to be in this house. You'd actually rather not be there, which in this metaphor is essentially like saying, I'd rather not have any money so I don't have to live this way. Can you see how? 1. Just take off your boots in the first place before you enter the house, i.e. don't knowingly walk inevitably dirty money all around your space. 2. You wouldn't live in your house for a year without cleaning it, would you? It's the same thing with money. Clean it on a regular basis. And 3, considering that you can both take your boots off and clean up, don't just sell the whole house because you can't deal with the dirt. In other words, don't allow your subconscious to reject energetically unclean money, just clean it. Practice good energetic hygiene with money and it will become far easier for you to love money. Okay, so hopefully you're already convinced on the importance of this, but what does this look like to practice? Well, you're here for money energetics, so let's get into it. 1. Each time you receive some money into your Stripe account or bank account, you close your eyes and say, thank you, money. I appreciate you and would like more of you to be with me. I ask that all digits in name bank account are removed of every single energetic imprint that has come before this moment. I bathe this bank account and all the money in it with Akashic light and ask that this money be reset to its original blueprint. It is done. Envision the digits of the bank account having a wash and a polish, and see the Akashic light racing through the digits of this bank account, cleansing it. If you have a high volume of sales, rather than doing this every time you get a sale, do it once a week or bi-weekly at most. Similarly, when you buy something, or if you have money out through direct debit in your business every week or so, you do the same. Close your eyes and say, thank you, money, for coming into my field. I now ask that all money that has left my experience in the past in a certain time frame, e.g. week, be cleansed entirely of my imprint so that it can be received in the highest and purest frequency possible by those next in possession. I ask that all cords between me and that money are unplugged now. Through non-time reality, it is done. Then you envision that money being washed and polished, and if any cord of attachments are still present, feel them unplugging from your body and going back to the money that you or your business has spent. If you want to start off this process for the first time with a deep clean, instead of saying money that has left my experience in the past week, you can say money that has left my experience ever in my lifetime. What's cool about this is that as money is a circulating energy, it means that if the same money comes back to you, it will inevitably be cleaner than it was before. You clean it for yourself and for others. Imagine if everyone was doing this. Every so often, consider if your money wants to move. A bit like water, money sitting still in a bank account becomes stagnant. So you may have found that you did the clean and the polish around your money, but because the money isn't doing anything, there's a sense of fear or resistance that starts to rise around it. Allow money to move. This may look like finding something to invest in: gold, silver, crypto, stocks, bonds, real estate, etc. Learn, do your research and due diligence. Money sitting as money goes stale fast. Money sitting in assets solidifies and tends to stand the test of time. If cash money is water, then money invested in assets becomes a bit like ice. It doesn't stagnate, it crystallizes. This doesn't mean that you should put all of your money into investments. Fluidity rules for practical living, let's be real. But How much fluidity do you really need? If you don't know much about investing or have fear around it, in the very least, take money out of a standard bank account and move it into a higher return savings account. 4, work with your divine feminine. So this is being repeated over and over in the collective right now, but it's very important to work with this energy for cleanliness. The general consciousness of the feminine is concerned with cleanliness, and she keeps her space tidy and nested generally. And so when you're grounded into your feminine energy, then you're, again, generally more likely to do these hygiene practices automatically on a subconscious level. Remember, we're working on the energetic level here, and the feminine as an energy is present in all beings. And so all beings are able to activate her. Your feminine is an ally in energetic cleanliness, as she is in the container with the money. She feels its dirtiness directly, so in a way she's more motivated to clean it. The masculine holds the container, so he only ever feels the impacts because the feminine doesn't enjoy being there. His motivation to clean is somewhat indirect. Even if you do all of the above practices, it's still advised to maintain a healthy relationship with money. This means no codependency, no sprawling all over each other and being each other's pockets. As with all relationships, money has its own consciousness, wants, needs, directions, and purposes to fulfill, as do you. Money's purpose is singular, so you can help money fulfill its entire purpose, whereas your purpose is dynamic and can't solely be fulfilled through money itself. So no matter what happens, you shouldn't rely on money to fulfill all of your purpose because it basically can't do that for you. Feel the separation between you and money. Feel your independent existence outside of it. Feel its support, its love, movement, and flow, but acknowledge completely that you are a whole and complete being, even if money disappeared from your life tomorrow. Practice being in relationship with money rather than obsessing and neurotically chasing it all the time. Give it space and draw it close. Move with it, but don't become enveloped and tied to it, or part of your energy will disappear with it as it moves away from your field, as it will inevitably on most days. Breathe, move, and dance with it. Flirt with it, nurture it, care for it, make it feel appreciated, and it will move with you similarly. This is how the world works on a template level. These are all the reasons why you need to practice energetic cleanliness with money and how you can do it. This is part of a broader process that's happening on Earth right now, where money is purifying, it's desiring to purify so that it can reach its higher purpose. As its purpose is solely tied to the consciousness of the human collective. In other words, without humans, money would be purposeless. It requires you to purify it. Money's only agency in this situation is to make its desires known so that you can do something to support it. So when you look at it this way, money is so much more dependent on you to fulfill its purpose than you are on it to fulfill yours. Your soul's purpose is tied to journeys through lives, relating with all of reality, learning from all beings, plants, animals, nature, the universe, each other, the choices you make, and so much more. Money was born for you, and so why are you spending so much of the day begging for it and groveling at its feet? In reality, this makes no sense to money, and in fact, it kind of annoys it. Money can't actually be annoyed, but just to illustrate this point, if money relies on you to fulfill its purpose and you're begging at its feet, out of your power, then money has no hope of getting where it wants to go because it needs you to be in your power to take charge and make decisive actions for it. So don't do that. See reality for what it is and be in healthy relationship with money. Keep your space clean and clear and allow each of you, money and you, to lift each other higher into your purposes. This is the reality at play. You are most likely more powerful than you think you are here, and this is where we are moving as a collective. So jump on board and practice money hygiene as you're ascending your consciousness. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video around the purification of money. I hope you enjoyed this channeling from the Pleiadians and that you will apply some of the principles that they shared with us today. If you feel called to go deeper with this work, then I invite you to hop onto a 20-minute business ascension call with me. And in this call, we will be diving into your Akashic Records to source one golden nugget around what's needed for you to 10x your business income. I'll also be directing you to any resources that come to mind, so podcasts or influencers, courses, books, anything that will support you with the next step and implementing whatever that wisdom is that comes through from your Akashic Records. And then we'll do a call in of your guides and all of your non-physical light beings that are supporting you so they can walk with you and really guide you in those next steps. So if that sounds like it would really, really be supportive for you right now, I invite you to book in. It's totally free. It's how I sustainably support my community, and I have limited spaces each week. So you can book in either through the link on the banner, and I also have the same link below this video. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.